Drama was inevitable at the Dutch Grand Prix. Lewis Hamilton and Charles Leclerc, Ferrari's two-star drivers, were furious after the chaos that rocked the legendary Maranello team. Not only did they lose the race, but their internal harmony also seemed to shatter before the world's eyes. Will Ferrari weather this storm, or will the divisions deepen? Let's discuss. The 2025 Dutch Grand Prix at the Zandvoort circuit marked a dramatic turning point for Ferrari. What should have been a weekend of revival turned into a disaster when Hamilton lost control of his car and crashed hard at turn 3. From the outside, the incident appeared to be driver error. However, behind the scenes, the accident revealed a deeper crisis involving technical and strategic issues, as well as a crisis of confidence within Ferrari. Everything happened so fast. Hamilton, who was speeding, suddenly lost grip of the rear of his car. The tyres lost consistency, the SF25 spun wildly, and carbon debris flew into the barriers. For a 7-time world champion known for his mastery of track conditions, this scene was unbelievable. What collapsed wasn't just one lap of racing, but also months of hard work, millions of euros in development, and Ferrari's grand strategy to regain competitiveness. Upgrades touted as a saviour instead created an unstable car, a machine that turned against its driver. Ferrari arrived at Zandvoort full of hope. The SF25 upgrade package was projected to shave 0.3 seconds per lap. Major changes were made, including a new side pod design, a revised floor pan, and a rear suspension that promised extra stability. However, danger signs emerged as early as free practice. Hamilton lost control twice, in FP1 and FP2, though he managed to avoid a crash both times. Telemetry data revealed an unprecedented amount of rear tyre slippage, which the Maranello simulator had never predicted. On a live track, the upgrades didn't provide stability. Instead, they created dangerous volatility. In light rain at Zandvoort, as the track became increasingly slippery, the weaknesses of the SF25 were fully exposed. When Hamilton tried to go 0.2 of a second faster, he lost control of the car. Ferrari had prepared a bold strategy, a double undercut. Charles Leclerc would be called into the pits first, followed by Hamilton a lap later. The goal was clear: break into the top 5, seize the momentum, and put maximum pressure on the main rivals. Simulations showed that this scenario could result in a podium finish, which would be a crucial step in the tight race for the Constructors' Championship. However, all of those plans fell apart in an instant. Hamilton's heavy collision at turn 3 triggered the safety car and destroyed all the meticulous calculations made by Ferrari's strategy team. Leclerc, who should have had the advantage, was instead caught in heavy traffic with tyres that lost grip due to the cold. His rhythm was lost, his momentum shattered, and his chances gone. Instead of earning a potentially valuable 22 championship points, Ferrari left the Netherlands empty-handed. This outcome was devastating, not only for Leclerc, who had been struggling to be consistent, but also for Hamilton, whose future with the team was now in question. Leclerc expressed his frustration after the race. "We had enough pace to compete today, but our strategy went out the window after Lewis crashed. It feels like all our hard work was for nothing. I'm disappointed, not just for myself, but for the whole team." The crash had consequences far greater than 0 points. The Zandvoort upgrade package was no ordinary upgrade. It consumed nearly a third of Ferrari's total season development budget. Frederick Vasseur himself presented the major project to the Ferrari board, promising it would be tangible proof that the team's revival was beginning. However, reality on the track turned against him. The car spun out of control, the strategy fell apart, and Hamilton crashed in an embarrassing fashion. The immense pressure caused Vasseur to explode in front of the media, openly blaming Hamilton. This stance may have calmed Ferrari's internal turmoil temporarily, but it also left a deep scar. Cracks began to appear in the relationship between the team boss and their star driver, a situation that could escalate into a full-blown crisis. Ironically, while Hamilton was positioned as the scapegoat, Leclerc emerged as the beneficiary. With his consistency and calm demeanour, Leclerc was seen more and more as Ferrari's golden boy, a symbol of new hope that not even the seven-time world champion could match. Lewis Hamilton's reaction after the crash at Zandvoort raised eyebrows throughout the paddock. There was no emotional outburst, radio protest, or lengthy, angry tirade, just two short words. "Sorry, guys." For Hamilton, this silence was highly unusual. He walked back to the Ferrari garage with his head bowed, his face cold, and he barely spoke to his engineers. The resilience that had been his trademark for 17 seasons, the unyielding spirit and energy of a seven-time world champion, seemed to be fading. In contrast, Charles Leclerc displayed a resolute attitude. Though clearly disappointed with the outcome, he remained vocal, offering input and asserting his strategic views in an attempt to guide the team in a better direction. In the eyes of the public and Ferrari management, Leclerc's contrasting attitude further solidified his position as a natural leader within the Reds. While Hamilton seemed fragile, as if losing the aura of a champion that once made him feared, Leclerc's value increased, and he was increasingly seen as Ferrari's future. Leclerc now leads Hamilton in the standings. While the points difference may not be significant, the impact within the team is clear. Ferrari trusts Leclerc, seeing him not just as a fast driver, but also as a long-term asset who can provide stability amidst the storm. Meanwhile, Hamilton's position is becoming more and more questionable. His status as a seven-time world champion does not automatically guarantee him a central role in Ferrari's future projects. With Red Bull steadily widening its lead and McLaren closing in more aggressively, Ferrari has lost vital momentum. Rather than marking a turning point for a revival, the Dutch Grand Prix revealed Ferrari's true colours: fragility, division, and disorientation. The question is no longer who is leading on track, but who can be trusted to lead Ferrari out of its deepening crisis. Hamilton's crash at Zandvoort was more than just another racing incident. It symbolised the current crisis plaguing Ferrari: an unreliable car, seemingly shaky leadership, and two increasingly polarising drivers. Frédéric Vasseur's reputation is at stake as he faces intense scrutiny after an upgrade project that was touted as a turning point failed miserably and backfired. Hamilton now faces significant doubts about his speed and his role and future at Ferrari. Meanwhile, Charles Leclerc has strengthened his position by performing more consistently and emerging as a beacon of confidence in the team. The situation has divided Ferrari into two camps, one that still relies on Hamilton's experience and another that sees Leclerc as a beacon for the future. The 2025 Dutch Grand Prix will be remembered for more than just the crash at Turn 3. The massive crack in the Ferrari's bodywork is also clearly visible. Was the crash at Zandvoort simply driver error? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below.